Everybody, welcome back to Iron Oak Sawmill. Yeah, I wish we were milling that. Not yet. That's a big old white oak there. Smaller black walnut crotch here. These are both from the same tree. And a little bit bigger here. This one's about 28 inches across at the crotch. And I don't have my tape measure on me. 24 at the other end. Good solid crotch wood here. It's going to have some nice figure in it. I'm a little concerned because if you look at this end, see that bark inclusion right there. I'm worried that those slabs are just going to fall a half. But hey, that's what epoxy river tables are made of, right? I already found metal in the other side of this. I'm getting a reading here, and I don't know why this is stained. It's not from metal. This is from where the cables were hooked to it when it was taken down. And it left a little bit of staining in it. But it's not in here. It's further down. I believe it's near the crotch. Because my better metal detector that I have is telling me it's about 6 to 8 inches in there. So we're gonna work towards it and hopefully not hit it. So let's go ahead and get started. Always check your mill before starting up. Hey buddy, psst, psst. You're in the wrong place. All right, we're gonna give this another try. It's actually the following day. We got rained out like crazy yesterday. Thunder, lightning in the area. Last thing you want to do is be standing under tall trees holding onto a big piece of steel, aka the mill. So we called it, which was good because it thundered and thundered and thundered till sundown. So no good. But we're back out here today. Same log on the mill. Let's get to milling it. All right. Hey, I'm going to wear the mic and so you can hear us complaining the whole time. I'll have to bleep everything out. We'll try to keep it PG. Keep my YouTube rating right. Okay. Keys. Keys. Who's got the keys?
Yep, I'm using it.
All right, like I was saying, logs lined up since last night. It's where I want it to be. We're going to do a reference cut, which is just a flat section. So when we flip it over and go to cut it, it sits nice and stable. The reason you do that is because if we just went to slab it down through right now, I would eventually have to move my stops to the clamp. And when I do that and I open it up, boom, it ends up rolling a little bit and then it's not flat anymore. So we cut the reference face and give a nice stable surface to land on. The boards on the loading arms are for the short ones we were doing before. Just leaving it there now because this one's a little bit short, and when we throw stuff off on there, we don't want it to fall through. So, what do you think? 2 inches on this one, or it's not really big enough for a quarter? Oh, wow. The drive felt super loose on this, on the feed motor. Alright. Probably wet from the rainstorm last night. Crafter. You have other pieces over there, correct? Alright. Let me see if I can turn this with the turner. Should be able to. And there we and you can see my blocks falling off the deck right there. That's see if I can do this with the clamp now. That was the leveling. I couldn't get to one of the toe boards, so just block it up. Try to level the center of the log up there so you get some decent slabs out of it. All right, let's drop the stops down. Now's where you want to pick your 2-inch, wherever this lands. So I'm setting that one for 2-inch. Nope. 2-inch. Go to manual. Now I'm looking at my scale here. Right about there. That'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-inch slices on here. These microphones are amazing that we talk back and forth with, but mine's getting a fit. Got a bad wire on the mic. I'm going to end up replacing that. So we're set for 2-inch. Let's bring it back. Then drop it down. Make sure you clear the far blade guide. Make sure you're not going to hit your stops or your clamp. And let it rip. Go a little slower through the crotch. Maybe you go slower through the crotch, because that's where you're going to get your wavy cut. Should be able to do one more without hitting anything to death. Can you check my clamp, please? How we look? Alright. Now there's no trouble fitting this through the throat of the saw. Overhanging is stopped here by a couple of inches because of the curvature of the log. So that allows that to move over, and the outer blade guide clears that. Alright. Alright, now I'm about to make a choice. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, wow. Never seen that. Where the sapwood comes up between the crotch. Cool. I'm just temporarily stacking just off to my left here. And might as well bring them up and get a close-up shot. You got water, right? All right. Think we'll be able to fit both of these on here? Side by side? Maybe. There we can. Okay. We're good. Usually once you're into the crotch wood, but the sapwood came all the way up through the crotch. That's different. Usually you see a bark inclusion in here. Maybe on the next one. Deb's going to bring a little water over. I'll get this checked out. Yeah, let's do a quick. I don't have my scraper. There we go. That popped. That's nice. That's an interesting grain right there. Look at that. And now we're down to the boring straight stuff. It's never boring with black walnut. Never. There we go. There's some really unique grain there. That's cool. And I'm guessing the next one will have some nice crotch feathering. Let's get this one moved and check it out. All right, next slab down. Oh yeah. Check it out. Yeah, that's fun.
Wow.
Nice. Wow, I think got some strange coloration down in here even. Nice. I'm starting to get some glare.
Look.
Crotch green all the way through the sapwood. All right, got the water off, cuts down on the glare a bit and reflection. Very nice. I know I say that a lot. Good stuff. Can't go wrong with black walnut. I always say that too. 8/4. Lots of figure. Maybe a couple of them together for a river table. A couple of them together for a set of book matches, for a decent sized coffee table. What are we looking at for width on these? Let me see. Sorry, get my tape measure out. About 23 on the big end. And that's with the bark. 14 in the middle. Oh, 13. No, 14 to the bark. And on the far end, 15 with the bark. And that, my friend, is a bullet. That's lead or aluminum. That's why we have the discoloration right here. I just noticed that. You can tell that because if you look here, there's no difference in the saw cut. Saw cut's the same here, same roughness, you want to call it, as it is after it hits this. Now that's aluminum. Is there a metal, is there a steel nail holding that aluminum piece on here or not? So, and my metal detector is too sensitive now. It'll just pick up the mill. But I'm going to call that aluminum. It's too hard for lead. Yeah, it's too hard for lead. Let me see. Check it with the scraper here. No, that is lead. That's way too soft for aluminum. So somebody, somewhere along the line, sent a bullet into this tree. Up pretty high, because this is a ways off the ground. So we're going to leave that in there. It's part of the story.
Oh boy.
And keep going. Okay, that is definitely a bullet. You can see the copper jacket on it. I could probably... I know to watch my hands. All right, now we shouldn't have any trouble pushing it up against the stops. And drop the stops down. There we go. All right, we're okay with the clamp. Come down 8/4 according to the scale. All right. A little water. Walnut's not too bad for gumming up the wood, or sorry, gumming up the blade. Check my clamp, we're good. Final pass on this load. Have to run your water continuously. Your blade's clean, shut your water off. Well, at least on the LT35. You've got your lube miser system on there, you just leave it on constantly. Alright, bring it on back. We're done cutting, so bring the head up high enough for when you load the next load. It's out of the way. We could take a look at each one of these. And again, if you haven't seen any of our other videos with this, when you cut black walnut, it's not black, it's green. And maybe some purple hues and some other colors in there. Sorry, I'm losing my mic again. Hey, let me bring these guys over a little closer. We'll get a good look at this. That's some cool looking grain, isn't it? Do the honors, Deb. Nice. Can you spread that around a little bit? Because it's got a big glare. There we go. That's better. Even these these little logs have so much character to offer in these. This is so, and the color is just going to keep getting. I don't know if you can see. It doesn't look a very dark brown right now, but the longer it's exposed to the air, more you're going to see it. I have a funny feeling we got another bullet down here somewhere. Maybe when we flip it over and look at the next cut.
I like that.
All right, one last time on this log. Got a little bit of glare again, but once that takes off the excess water, there we go. That looks good, huh? Wow. That crotch grain's going down a good 2.5 feet into the log. Nice stuff.
Here, honey.
Yeah, let me get a little scraping on here. Got a little glare. There we go. Nice. That's a cool little log. It's going to make some nice furniture. It could be legs. You could actually take the end off of this, of 2 of these, and make legs out of the end for this to be a small coffee table or a pair of end tables. This would be one end table, one next would be another end table, or straight cut one edge and book match it, or spin it around, do a epoxy pour down through the middle. But you're not going to go wrong with walnut. And like I said, this is light brown now. It went from green to light brown, and then it's going to go to the deeper brown. The longer it's out here. And I think we might find some metal in there. Heck, maybe we'll find another bullet. I already pulled a nail out of it. Let's hope we don't find any more nails. All right. Looks good. Ready for the next one. Now this one, yes. This one we flipped over.
I did that.
When we took it off, we flipped it, so.
Ready?
Yep.
Can't drop it. I gotta
Yeah.
Good?
Yes. Kitten.
That's right, it works off in here.
Yep.
Cool.
Looks good. Take that down. Okay. I don't think that little one's going to do too good with that walnut log.
Always moving cat.
All right. I said this is one I found a nail in. Not on this top side, but on the bottom side. Over here. There we go. Good, babe. Hold. No. There we go. 27 inches here. So 26 being right on the stops. We've got to trim. Got to trim, I would say get it down to 25.5, so only 1.25 inches. Or inch, yeah, right, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Yeah, we're 27.5, about 2 inches. So we got to take 1 inch off either side. And it doesn't get much narrower down at the other end. This was actually the butt log of the tree. It went up a little bit and then split into 2 leaders. So this end should be fine. What we're going to have to do is bring that end up quite a bit to match this end. So let's work on doing that. I need some 2x4s. And as I lift it up with the clamp, I'll just slide them underneath, probably 2 at a guess right now. All right, folks, well, we were so rudely interrupted by a malfunctioning camera. Did notice, so I came over to get you, bring you over here to let you see what we're working on. Okay, according to what I did, I checked on the video. You saw us setting this thing, trying to get it leveled up. Well, we did that. We made our reference cut, flipped it over, made a couple of thin cuts, and now we're to the point where we're going to get 6 8/4 slabs out of this. We cut the first one. What we're finding out is there's a weird growth in this tree. It's almost like 2 small trees grew together. And right down the middle, we've got a bark inclusion that is causing these to separate. There's great feathering down there. Get some water on here. Let's see what we got. Let's get some water on here. Wow. Well, that looks cool. The only problem with this, you'll see when we go to pick this up, that it is actually 2 separate pieces. This bark inclusion runs the entire length of this is about 5.5 feet. But look at that feathering. Pull these apart. Epoxy river pour right down the center. That looks awesome. Coming back up here to the crotch end. There's crotch feathering through the entire thing. That's what's awesome about this. You don't see it up here yet. Our next cut, you probably will. Just getting through the sapwood on here. That looks cool. Like I said, we did find a nail in this one. With the metal detector when we had it on the ground. Got that out. I'm hoping not to find anything else. And we did find bullets in the other one. Maybe we'll find a few bullets in this one. Let's see. All right, Deb, go for it. There's that full bark inclusion all the way up through. This is definitely river table material here. It just lends itself to a river table here. This will allow you to separate these and make them even along the outsides and fill the center in with the epoxy and have yourself a nice, basically rectangular shaped table with live edge. Very cool.
Nice.
All right, let me get in there, see what we got for grain. Now the crotch feathering I thought would be all the way up here just kind of went away. It's a massive bark inclusion all the way through here. A little bit of feathering here and some more at the bottom. I think it's actually going to, and the first we slid off here, the one we just slid off here fell apart. So, so that's what all these are going to do. It's only going to get worse through here because that bark inclusion gets wider as it goes down further on the butt end down there. All right, let's get this, well, this one isn't cut yet. Let's get the next one cut, get a look at it. All right, flip it over, just take 1/2 at a time. We're not gonna wrestle with it. Yeah, it has to be flipped. As you can tell, this is only half coming over here, folks, because it's split right down the middle. Yeah, that one or two pieces laying on the loading arms. That's the thinner slices we took off when the camera overheated and shut down. Oh, excuse me. I think we need all larger ones on here once that's scraped. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make our next cut, which when we brought the mill back, we dropped it down for our next cut because we didn't have to do anything moving clamps, moving stops or anything like that. Just got it ready for the next cut before I shut it down. I'm really hoping you guys can hear me when this engine's running. Let me check. We have clearance. We have clearance. We are about 1/4 inch on each side of clearance, so we're good to go. old 25.5-inch cut going on here. So nice and slow. Keeps the cut as flat as possible. They're separated. I'm going to go ahead and make one more. I think. Let me double check my stop. On my clamp. Clamp's clear. Stops is clear. Drop it down. And I never reset. Well, so much for that plan. Let's give me an edge to relocate on here. While Deb's over there setting that up. I forgot to turn the simple set on and set it for 2 inches. I was all about dropping it down before we shut it off the last time, but I forgot to turn the thing back on. All right, here we go. Just touch the top along with the blade, turn it on to 1/4, and now drop it down. Now let's make that cut. There we go. Scraping the bark. Yeah, I might have to pull some bark off the outside there to get by it. Like I said before, it's coming off anyway. Can I get one more cut, Deb? Before I hit my clamp. Well, if we're not sure, you just measure down to it. Top of the clamp to the last cut is 2.5. We're safe there. But what we did do was we scraped this bark right here. Give me something to take that off with. Oh, that came right off. Nice. Should not be an issue now. In fact, we could have peeled this bark off and not had to worry about this so much. Cut an even wider slab. All right. Really? Yeah, it's sitting here. There we go. What? Really? Dragging on something. Is it hitting the clamp? Apparently I was dragging on something there. I got this in my way is what I got. Should have pulled that one off like that. There we go. Alright. I know we have to move this clamp. Go ahead and drop this down where it's supposed to be. Turn it off. There we go.
Ready?
I'm already down. There you go. Watch your hand. It's definitely a bark inclusion. Bark's coming off. Yeah, that's just falling off. Must get rid of that. Not staying there anywhere. There we go. All right. Yeah, there it is. That was the metal I was reading. Another bullet. What, did somebody have target practice on this tree? Or what? Yeah. Yeah, you can see the jacket on the bullet. Yeah, this one I got out.
That's a bullet?
That is... Well, we'll leave that right there. We'll show the folks what we found. It's a bullet. It's full metal jacket. It's got a copper jacket on it. So it's a newer one. It's not an older one. Here's the other half. That's bigger than a... that's bigger than a 22. No. That's the other metal it's picking up. I was getting something else in the metal detector, folks. And that's it. So there's a... Oh, was that 3 bullets in this tree so far? One in the upper part. We had one there we still have to dig out yet.
Yep.
In the first cut. You guys missed that, I think. It's the first cut off of here. Down to the base, we found a bullet. And it's in there 10 years ago, judging by the rings. Odd. All right, let's bring you on over, get some water on this one. We got a huge bark inclusion here. Big crater here. We'll show you that one. We'll get all that emptied out. All right, Deb. Go ahead. Nice. It is pretty much 2 separate trees.
Yep.
It somehow grew into one. Now here's where this half of the bullet came out of. And so that's about the size of a 9. Judging by the size of the bullet itself, looked like a 9mm. All right. Funny feeling we might find something else over here too. The only thing I'd say about this is it's a double tree. It's going to be a lava pour, an epoxy pour down the middle. Get this cavity opening up here, and all this bark inclusion is actually coming off the tree. All right, let's get this one off here and get a look at the next one. All right, just for reference here, there are the 2 bullet halves. And size-wise, what they look like. There we go. That's much clearer. I'm guessing 9mm. All right. All right, Deb's on the water already. Looking good. We got a big old pocket in there. And just the bark inclusion all the way down. And nothing stayed together other than, I think, the first one. No, the first one even popped apart. So, cool stuff. Let's get down along here. I said this is all just full of sawdust and funk. Just the tiniest bit of crotch feather right along in here. I think we're going to pick some up in the next one. All right, let's get this one moved over. Yeah, what we've been doing too is there's a bark layer in here that's peeling right off. So we're just peeling that out. It's not going to stay there. It's going, when it dries, it's just going to fall off. So get it out of there and make room for some epoxy. All right. I think what we're going to do is call this the target practice oak or black walnut tree. That looks like a 45. Unless it expanded some and it went in a tree. Then we got this. The big hunk of brass. Looks like maybe it's a BB. I don't know. You might get that focus. There we go. And then over here, like maybe just the tip of the bullet. A little lead in the center. And let me show you the other half of this. We just flipped over. Right, over here on the loading arms. Let me get you a little focused here. There we go. All right. Apparently my autofocus was shut off. But this one looks like two bullets on top of each other because I could see a metal jacket going through the middle of it. Wow. Yeah, like right here. See that second jacket? There's one bullet here, one bullet here. What went on with this poor tree? Here it looks like there was something square in the tree that rotted away. Just tried to curl over. I don't know. It's weird. There's nothing in here. There's nothing else in here. So, man, this tree lived a rough life. All right, let's get some water on this other half over on the mill and take a look at it. All right.
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the rest of those bullets out. Maybe, I don't know, leave them in. All right, well, here's that one. And again, the blade is still cutting nice. This is soft enough metal; it's not affecting the blade. Here's that other one, and then we got our little shepherd's hook bit here, and then our full bark inclusion. And it looks like more crotch feathering coming in again from the other side. Very cool piece. Okay, we got it cleared. Let's finish this one up. I think I'm actually seeing bits of bullet in the sawdust chute, coming out of the sawdust chute. All right. Final cut in the book for the bullet riddled black walnut. You can't even pick it up, which I doubt. There we go. Yeah. And the crotch feathering came back. This is probably one of the... It's got a lot more in it. Now I cut too slow there. I had some blade chatter, but that blade's probably getting a bit dull. It's copper and lead. It's not going to hurt any good shop tools. Not going to hurt any good shop tools. Planer blades or whatnot. So it's not in my experience. I've hit stuff like that with my planer and my joiner, and didn't think anything of it. You got high-speed steel cutting copper, high-speed steel cutting lead. Unless you're fortunate enough to have a helix head, carbide head in your joiner or planer. Definitely not going to hurt it. This is interesting. This is very cool looking. I'm going to rate this as #1 cool for this log. You good on water there, Deb? You need to get a little? All right. While we're waiting for Deb to get the water, this slab has not moved right or left. And that's one of the tricks. Now, I did drop the stops down, but they were up just far enough to catch that bark. That allowed me to push them out over the stops. Push it out over the stops, you can cut wider because it allows you to clear on the other side for your outer blade guide. That's how you do that. Now, you know this log, it curved as it went up here, it got wider and overhung the stops even a little bit more. Just as long as it's not too much and you catch that inner blade guide and end up getting stuck. It's a balance between the two. And if you work at it like we did, you can squeeze a 25.5. I think I've managed a 25 3/4 slab on there. And the max on the between the blade guides is 26. So we were right at max, 1/8 clearance on either side. So I think this looks good now. Wait till Deb gets here with the water. It's gonna look nice. This is a real interesting one here. This is definitely worth it. All right, Deb, go for it. And because it has a bark inclusion and a sapwood inclusion here, and the feather, crotch feathering down at the far end, actually comes all the way up to the middle. Some discoloration in here. Hey, no bullets in this one. At least not on this side. I think we had one on the other side when we flip it over.
This is nice.
All right, let's get a look at it. Very cool. Yeah, a bunch of crotch feather came back on this side. Very nice. Like I said, you got the bark inclusion in there, and then a sapwood inclusion in here, and then sapwood inclusion all the way up. Oh man, lots of different colors. I'm sure this tree is stained from the bullets. I would think so. It's a little bit of a looked punky, but it's not. It's still solid. A little bit of ants started to get in there. Weird undulations here. More discoloration in the bark. Again, don't know if that's from the bullets, but very cool. One more shot of this. All the way down to full length. Man. I'm going to vote this one the last one. The best one out of the log. All right, let's go ahead and get these moved over to the stack. Get them stacked and stickered. And wrap this one up. We could actually strap these together, pick them up with a skid steer and move them both at the same time. It'll be good and stable that way. What do you think? Towards you. All right, gotta bring it out, flip. On this side, kind of boring. All right, here we go. All right, on that vortex blade, you can see it here, and check out that tooth. It's definitely a unique gullet in there, but what that does is it acts like a big scoop and pulls all that sawdust out of there. And this thing, we've cut quite a bit with it. It's probably ready for a resharp now. It's not really, if we're cutting softwoods with this next, meaning like poplar, something like that, I could probably keep going in. It's a little dirty too. I should have run some more water on that to clean it up. But this is the Vortex blade by Wood-Mizer. You don't hear much about these, at least I don't. I got one just to try it, and I like it. It cleans the cut up really nice when I've got to run slow in these thicker cuts. or these wider cuts. It does a great job of getting the sawdust out of the kerf. Saves us some of that scraping that everybody loves so much. Everybody, that'll wrap it up here at the Iron Oak Sawmill for what we're going to call the bullet riddled black walnut tree. Can't believe the amount of lead that was in that thing. Not sure what the situation is, but now it's going to become furniture. Had a lot of fun doing these two. Don't always have to be the big logs to be the nicer logs. This is going to make some nice tabletops, some coffee tables, end tables, whatever we decide to do, or whatever the customer decides to do with them. But hey, what do we got coming up for videos? We've got, I don't know, we've got log moves. We've got the trailer video should already be out. The trailer revamp video should already be out. We're gonna have some par buckling videos of how we get that thing loaded using the winch and doing par buckling. If you're not sure what that is, check the video out. That worked out really well. What else we got going? We've got just a ton of stuff to get milled. Red oak like crazy. We've got, what, 21 logs coming from one job. Ash and yellow poplar or tulip poplar, same thing. What we've got to do, make some room back here. So we either need to sell a bunch of stuff or get a bunch of fill dirt and give us some more flat area to store our lumber in and get our mill moved out of the yard. Also, you guys might have seen it already. I don't know what order they're going to come out in, but we've got some slabs that came in from an off-site mill. If you haven't seen it yet, got to check it out. Awesome stuff. It's a huge maple burl trunk that was sitting out here in the driveway for about 2 years. Also, that big black walnut crotch has been sitting out here in the driveway. They're finally milled, and over to your left, the catalpa burl right now, that big honking burl that laid here in the backyard for, what, a year plus?
Yeah. That's
at the mill right now. Can't wait to get that back. That's going to look awesome. Deb's turn to comment. Hi, honey. I just talk and talk and talk, and she's just here. You tired?
Yeah.
All right. She did a good job. Good job. She's been working in the house too. She's working on stripping wallpaper. Do we need to put that in there?
Oh, what fun.
Oh, what fun. Okay. But doing a little quick kitchen remodeling as well. But, all right, from both Deb and I here at the Iron Oak Sawmill, I'd like to thank everybody for your support of the channel. Hey, if you've got any questions about what we're doing here, about how we're getting our slabs done, how we're, what kind of tools we're using, how the mill's working, what kind of blades we're using, go ahead and put it down in the comments section. We'd be glad to help you out. All right. It's always fun answering questions. We're really liking the comments. Keep them coming. And we've even got some comments from Korea.
Yeah.
I've had to translate quite a few comments because I would rather reply to everybody. But, that's really interesting. So, hey, keep the comments coming, guys. We really appreciate it. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. We'll see you at next time. Boom. Oh, you're...